Now, I wanted to speak about your book, the three sisters of the Tao. Can you first tell us how you describe the Tao?
Yes. Well, the Tao is easy to describe. It's just the way. Okay. It is the way to sustain or regain balance. And what is balance? Well, that's an ever growing, ongoing conversation about how it is that human beings sustain or regain their balance. So, of course, we've talked about the five elements. And if you're feeling very, very almost burnt out, then you would know you could dip into the deep wisdom of Chinese medicine and say, I need to take a break and drink a glass of water and bring water more into my space, turn on my fountain, whatever it is, because there's a huge variety of ways in which to work with each element. So the Tao is the way to maintain balance. And so again, this is a philosophy that the conversation has been occurring for thousands of years. And it is out of which Chinese medicine was born to maintain the harmony of the body. The I-Ching was born to maintain the harmony of relationships, both within self and out in the world with other people, other things. And Feng Shui is maintaining the harmony of the environment or the outer world. So we have it going all the way from our deepest heart all the way out into our biggest environment. And Chinese medicine is really founded in maintaining a tranquil heart. And if we look at the healthy human being, one that really is sustaining optimal health, we will find that their heart is calm and centered. So there's so much concentration put on how to bring tranquility on a regular basis into a lifestyle in such a way that our heart remains tranquil through a busy day. And how are we doing that? We're doing that with balancing our lifestyle, making sure we're getting enough rest, making sure we're getting enough play along with our wild work world.
So you're saying that our heart is our home, but our
Yes.
home is our heart too, isn't it? I mean, isn't
Well,
our
it's where it starts. It's in when we're in physical bodies. Our heart is the pump that is keeping it all together, isn't it? And there's a deep poetic nature to Chinese medicine. If you've ever had any of it done, there's all these gateways all up and down and all around the body, and they're all named these beautiful poetic names, heavenly passage and all of these things. And it's this beautiful idea that when our heart is tranquil, the heavenly energies can find a home in the heart. The earthly energies can also rise up and find a home in the heart. And the truth is, then heaven and earth within our own hearts become like lovers. And when we have heaven and earth living within our hearts like lovers, then what happens is incredible creativity. They begin to literally have offspring, and the way that occurs is through our creative expression in the world. So when you see someone who's wildly creative, you can see that they have all of this flowing, whether they're conscious of it or not. Their heart is open, their heart is calm and connected, and heaven and earth are sleeping, are making their heart a bedchamber. So there's a beautiful poetic nature to all of this.
this is even more than poetic. I mean, it is totally life-giving. Ooh.
Yeah. Don't you love that feeling though? That feeling like heaven and earth can be lovers in your heart?
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. This makes perfect sense. This makes exact sense and perfect balance, and it's like the yin yang sign would be right there sitting
There you
there.
go. There you go. That's so true. And then I Ching says, okay, we have this beautiful heart where heaven and earth are lovers within. How does that express itself out in the world in our relationships? And then how does it also deeply express within? But primarily, how are we interrelating with each other? Are we being kind? Are we treating everybody with dignity and respect for their uniqueness, whether they're cleaning the bathrooms in the airport or they're the president of a nation? They each and every one have their unique contribution they're making. So how are we treating these people? that we have interactions with. So the I Ching is very about our approach, our kind, loving, filled with dignity approach to each other.
Because here you're speaking, you're having conversation with those three sisters, those
Yes.
three pillars of what you call having a balanced life. Is that?
Yes, what I chose to do was to take the studies and my own insights of these three aspects of the Tao and fill them a bit with personality, give them life in a way that then I could describe a personal relationship with them as if they are wise women who are guiding me like mothers or like older sisters might guide me. And they do, to me, have a very distinct three personalities. Chinese medicine is very calm and poetic. I-Ching is very directed and very no-nonsense. You either treat people with dignity or you are going to fall off your supposed pedestal. There's no duration to treating people unkindly. And Feng Shui is Miss Joy. She's just a joy bunny, and she's just into creating beautiful environment that reflects and holds in place harmony.
But when we read it, it's really like you're having actually a conversation with that entity or that, the whole spirit of that, the soul of it. It's really quite impressive. I mean, what was your experience of that?
Well, my experience to begin with was to just hang out in bed in the mornings and study the I Ching and study Chinese medicine. And of course, I was already very well versed in Feng Shui. And as I was studying and writing in my journal and taking that yin time, that quiet time, they began to become imbued with life force for me. And I'm not sure the golden moment it occurred to write about them as if they are wise women, but suddenly they really did, and they are very living for me. And I guess part of what I want to offer as a potential for anybody is to have them become alive for them also. So that it's not a piece of philosophical information hanging out here. It is something I can embrace as a relationship that is intimate and loving in my own life.
Tell us about I-Ching, because we don't hear enough about that part, I think.
Well, I-Ching, she's the direct, no-nonsense aspect of the Tao. She has no patience for people being unkind, and her focus is equality. There is uniqueness to all things, and ultimately, in the Taoist sense of duration, of harmony, kindness is the keynote. So she really goes for that. Now, the other thing that I Ching brings to us is the sense of unseen help that arrives in our lives as equals to us. Unseen help is not more evolved, better, more wonderful. Unseen help is made up of our colleagues, our compatriots, our friends, our best friends. And so to call for unseen help all day, every day, if that's what you feel you need, and to have a sense of not ever being alone, that the world of the unseen and the seen is constantly dancing together. And culturally, we get a feeling that we're always in the seen world and everything has to be seen to count. And she's saying, oh my goodness, please ask for the unseen world to become as real for you as the seen. It is going to create such balance and enrichment for us all.
So how does that show up in our life? Are you saying that sometimes it would be our friend or loved ones that give us a message that we need, and then that's what would be the seen and of the unseen?
Well, that's certainly a way in which to connect with help. There's seen help, which of course is our friends and our family, whoever. But unseen help would be more like, say, for instance, I am about to have a conversation with somebody that I feel may be challenging, I might say, please, helpers, be with me and do whatever is necessary to balance the situation that I am moving into. And then have a sense of a circle of belonging that is encircling me and walking with me as friends into whatever my next moment is. And that does bring me to this whole idea of circle of belonging. I feel this is a very rich possibility for all of us to create a very keen sense of a circle of belonging that's made of both our seen and our unseen friends. And to list them, to write them down, maybe make a piece of art that's got a circle with all these names written in it. See ourselves as part of that. So we walk in that circle of belonging all the time, whether it's anyone around us physically that we can see or not. And her point is constantly that unlike many cultural beliefs, this help is not more, better, good than we are. This help is absolutely our equals playing their unique role in the seen and unseen life, which comprises all of life.
Cool. And then there is each of them have affirmations and seeds of transformation, as you call it. Like her
Yes.
seeds are transformation, and my heart and my mind are lovers. Pleasure and kindness are my guiding lights. I let my imagination soar. What are those? So those are things that we should tell ourselves, or those are at the basis of her foundation?
They are, they're seeds, they're affirmational seeds that we can live with and allow them to get planted deeply within us. I recommend that people read through them and find one that deeply resonates. I mean, there'll be ones that do and ones that perhaps don't. So stick with the ones that do and live with them. Just let them penetrate into our psyches such that we begin to really feel that our hearts and our minds are lovers, right? That my mind isn't fighting with my heart, that they have transformed in relationship to each other. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of those. There's maybe, 30 of them, 20 to 30 of them per sister that people can sort through and choose their favorites.
This is great. So what's really your intention with this book?
Oh, my intention with this book is to share a very deep sense of the beauty of life. That life is so deeply rich and beautiful, both on the unseen and the seen levels. And when we can live from our hearts and out of our hearts and feel the ever-present beauty of life around us, that's really my intention. And, I love to look at life as improvisational theater. I have more fun just sitting in an airport watching the theater go by, or, a grocery store or whatever. I mean, the creation is incredible. The variety. Could we ever make this stuff up?
No,
it's just so, to tap into the celebratory spirit of life and to feel it and to live it.